Yo, what is up? Thank you all for tuning in wherever and whenever you are watching this. Today, guys, I'm super excited. We got a special guest, one of my best friends and business partners. He's out there on the West Coast. And guys, this guy is absolutely incredible. He gives back. He's out here changing people through mindset and development, and he's actually just shifting the way he does everything. So it's awesome to watch him grow. And along the side that, he's also changing lives along the way. So Deontae, bro, I'm super hyped to have you here, man. I'm super excited to hear what you got to say. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually let me make you the host. I think. Do you need to share your screen, bro? Can you hear me?
Yes, bro. I can hear you loud and clear, man. How you doing?
Blessed and highly favored, bro. Blessed and highly favored. How are you, man?
Dude, I am two steps above incredible, man. Nothing is honestly, I couldn't even tell you, man. It's a gorgeous day. I don't know. Out here in the West Coast, dude, the minute it goes anywhere above 90, I'm telling you, it's like everybody just forgets how to drive. Driving is gone. Heat is gone. We're like, yo, we're used to 360. No, wait, excuse me. We're used to 330 days of rain, but now we get like 30 days of heat. And yeah, no, everybody just forgets everything.
I feel you, bro. Same thing happens here. It gets a little cold. Everybody's got a coat on. Drops below 85 degrees, and you got to wear pants outside.
Oh my gosh, that's a problem. That's a problem, dude. I think I just got back from California a couple of weeks ago. They said if anything ever goes below 80, oh, it's pants weather. They wear like it's nothing. I'm like, no, get out of here.
Same here, bro. It's crazy. I actually have pants on right now, and it's probably like 80 degrees outside. It's my like year and a half here in Florida now, and it's weird, bro. I used to laugh at people when they're like wearing coats at this time, or at the winter time in Florida. And now I'm like, yo, I'm one of those people gonna be wearing like coats in the winter in Florida. Oh man, bro.
Love it. Thanks for having me on, man. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I'm happy to have you, and I'm happy to hear what you have to share with us. And I'm happy to see and watch you grow here alongside. So the mic is yours, bro, and feel free to do whatever.
Man, greatly appreciated. I feel like I should have a PowerPoint more set for this, man. But honestly, I had a lot of just notes from it, and a lot of this, first off, for people that don't know me, I mean, like Tyler said, I'm Deontay. I'm out here in the West Coast. I'm more towards Seattle. Like if I just describe where I'm at, I lose everybody. Like it's been, I leave the state, man. The minute I go out anywhere and ask people, like, hey, where Portland, Oregon is? Oh, like, oh yeah, Portland, Maine. Yeah. So I stopped. So I'm out here based out of Portland, Oregon, man. But we honestly, just a little bit about myself, man, is that just years ago, I made a decision that I said, I'm not going to let circumstances dictate my life. And how many times have we been in situations where we're just going to allow things just happen to us? You see, I don't think things happen to us. I think they happen for us. You see, most times when it comes to character building, and I'm going to talk a lot of mindset, and I know Tyler, he's out here, he provides the free value on trading. So I want to make sure I hit on trading for you guys because even myself as a trader, I've stepped back a little bit, but as a trader, as a human being, whatever you want to take this and apply this to, that without challenge won't come change. You see, you take away the two L's in challenge, all you have left is really change. You are going to have to grow and change. Imagine this. Funny enough, I was hanging around my pastor the other day, and before people start thinking I'm about to preach sermon, allow me to say, hey, Jesus, come on now. I want to be like, I got around a guy who was 65 years old, right? Had a congregation as small as, I think it was 12 people, he said. 12 people, nothing big, nothing exciting. But he said, but after years and years, he was pastoring for 40 years, that he finally built a congregation big of like 500 people. I think it's big. I mean, anything over 10,000, I head home. I go to the overflow section. I'm done. And from building that, he built such just an incredible empire based on the fact that he said, I never want to be at a place in my life where I will be stuck. And I was like, well, what do you mean by that? Like, stuck, like never growing, stuck. What is that? He's like, imagine this. He's actually a real estate agent too. He's actually transitioned out of pastoring to go into real estate. He said, I don't want to be stuck in a point in my life where I can go sell all my properties that I have and go live on the beach for 60, 80K. He's like, what a life I would live. I don't want to, say, hey, grandpa, I want my grandkids to come 20 years later, like, hey, grandpa made it to 85. But what's grandpa doing? He said, no, my biggest vision for myself is being able to grow such a massive empire in real estate that I will have something not only I can pass off, but also so I can have the next 20 years of my life be exciting. You see, when we look at the word growth, everybody's always excited. Some people are excited about growth, some people aren't. Some people are excited to go to the next level, some people aren't. And I'm not looking for the people that aren't, I'm looking for the people that do want to grow. And you see, when you look at the word grow, you have to look at the fact that the only way you grow is through challenges. We want to run away from challenges. Like, I'll tell you, the biggest thing that poverty has ever taught me from such a young age is that it will challenge you, but you have to decide how you want to make it. And most times when we have these circumstances come and happen, sometimes, we have bills that are missed. Sometimes we even have, families that might not respect us. Sometimes we hang around people, we're around people that might not even like us, or we're at a job we're dissatisfied in. That we have to realize that, okay, is this happening to us or is this happening for us? What is the greatest thing I could be able to take out of this? And honestly, the biggest thing I want to be able to shift is you guys' mindset with it. You see, so when I said years ago, I came from poverty, man. Outside of Vacaville, California, literally, it was a throwback, dude. I got around. It was this Motel 6. We lived there for 3 months until we made the decision to come up here in the Northwest and live here. And when we did that, I realized that my mom had to make tough decisions, but it allowed me to be able to grow, to realize that, things aren't always going to be handed to you. And if some people have that, hey, God bless, that's awesome. But they have to realize that there's going to be challenges with it. There's going to be challenges even being rich. I'm telling you what, there's going to be challenges growing up in poverty, but you have to really kind of choose which one you want. So really, even when we kind of dive into trading a little bit, is that when it comes to growing, when it comes to challenges, most people are afraid of losing $1,000. I'm just going to be upfront and say it. We invest this money, but we hope that it will turn into $1 million the next day. When people are starting to first just get into trading, even myself, I'm guilty of this, but because I'm telling you guys this firsthand, I wouldn't want to come here, speak about anything I didn't know about. That's just not who I am. That's not my character. But knowing about in trading that most people will come in and will just hope that one trade will take us to the top. That one trade, we just want to live by, we want to live by miracles. We just want to live cheaply. And sometimes it's even, we want to put like a 0.0 lot size and just hope that, man, this is going to be the $1 billion. Like, this is going to take me to the top. I've been there, man. But we have to realize that we have to change ourselves internally so we can get out of that. Okay, even in my time of being able to trade, is that I have to realize I got to risk something in order to make something. How much I'm willing to risk might be different from how much Tyler's willing to risk. How much I want to risk is going to be different from how much you might want to risk. But you have to realize that they can't win with this lottery analogy or this lottery asset kind of idea, because unless you change the way you are thinking, you will lose all your assets. And I'm going to elaborate on that, because people that win the lottery, right? I think, man, that's like, I think you have a better chance of getting struck by a meteor than you do win the lottery. It's crazy. But for the few people that have ever won the lottery, just take it back, even if I were to put my relevant time, in 2016, there was, I believe, a lottery ticket going for, I think it was over $300 million. Crazy number. A guy in California won it out of all the freaking states. Am I right? It's not New Hampshire. Nobody's thinking about New Hampshire. I better get Iowa. When's the last time we thought about Iowa, right? No one's thinking about these small places. But obviously this guy in California wins a $300 million lottery ticket and he loses it all. He loses it all because he didn't build the foundation. You see, I want you guys to look at whatever you want to do, however you want to apply this. You want to apply this in trading? Awesome. You want to apply this in sales? Awesome. You want to apply this in your everyday life? Awesome. I hope you take some value from this, because my biggest thing, I'm not getting a check to be here. I want to be able to just add value to you guys, and that's what means the most to me. And I hope I'm effective with it too, especially from my experience. When you're building up anything, take my hand, for example, right? This is some people's foundation, and some people want this massive empire being built on top of it. like maybe 12,000 square feet, 12 bedroom, 6.5 baths. Whoever the half bath is for, I still am trying to figure that out myself. But we want this massive building. We want this massive build. Yet we're building it on small foundation. Tyler, how many times have you seen people where they are trying to build something so amazing, but they want to do it on they want to put out so little less? Better yet, how many times have you guys known somebody in your life, whether they said, man, I'm going to become the best husband, I'm going to become the best in crypto, I'm going to become the best in sales, I'm going to become the best, like car enthusiast. Hey, being a car enthusiast, I'm just saying, that's a hobby. I'm just saying, be a skill set, and realize that it's going to be 10% the skill set and it's going to be 90% your mind. It's going to be more towards being disciplined with your mind than it is going to be the skill set. You can have whatever trading style you want. You can have whatever sales process you want. But unless the mindset is there, okay, in a marriage, it's different. I'm going to say that, like, you got to get like 100% of everything in order to get 100%. Like, there's no getting around that. I'm going to speak that from being a married man, from my perspective. But in order to even become winning the space, that is statistically shown that 90% people are losing and only 10% people are winning, you need to grow your mindset. This is an emotional based market in whatever it is. Most of the decisions we make are based on emotions and very little often off intelligence. You see, it's okay to have emotions. I'm not telling you guys, Mr. Gato, Tono, Eriato, you have to be from the 80s, understand the song, but you have to be able to build your mindset, but you have to be able to build a strong foundation in order to get the external things. I'm not saying like, hey, your trading style might be right. I'm not saying I'm not saying your trading style is wrong. I'm not saying whatever process you have is wrong. I'm not saying the way you're being as a person or even as a leader. I'm not saying you're doing any of it wrong. But until you build yourself internally, you're not going to be able to get those results that you want. Why? Because think of this. Okay, I'm just going to give you guys a perfect analogy. This is my personal analogy. There was a trade that I had where I only had $1,000 account, right? I saw this one trade going so hot, man. It was a Bitcoin trade. This was back in March, I believe it was. Man, it was a great trade. I swear to God, it was gonna go to the moon. I was like, yo, BTC come with the all-time high, right? Wrong, it drops down. It goes from 47K all the way down to 37K. Then it comes back up. I'm like, man, and I lost about $500 from that trade. And then it goes back. Then, I see it trying to climb its way back up. Like, oh man, dude, there's that little bit of hope. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna click the buy. I don't even know why I clicked the buy, but I clicked the buy because the buy looks good. It looks good at the time. It drops. Luckily, I put a stop loss for this one, and I only had $100 left. And for some people, you'd be so discouraged. We'd want to just rip it out of the market, this and that. And I realized that, okay, I need to take my brain off my shelf. Sorry, by the way, I said that so recently. That was just the only market analysis I remembered. Right? There's been more times I've won than I've lost, but then there's also more times I've lost than I won. Of course, I won't be good. But I realized when I was at that point where, man, I only had $100. I was like, do I add more? What do I do? It's funny when you start to lose that you just get so numb to it. And with it, I started making non-emotional based decisions. I said, okay, I'm gonna follow my trading plan. I'm gonna follow my style. I'm gonna follow everything that it's gonna take for me to be successful. So there were some days where, okay, only $3, awesome. That's my 3% for the day. I need to call it a quits. Okay, I made $30 that day. All right, that's a little bit more of a percentage. I'm gonna call it a quits. You see, but it was after that, time after time after time, I believe in 2 weeks, just because I caught 2 really hot trades, that in 2 weeks, I built my account back up and above. I went up to about 1,200. And this was just on, my God, this was actually feels so more recent. But I was at that point where even you want to put like, hey, it's not 12 grand though. Oh, it's 100,000. Losing money is still losing money. I don't care whether you lose $1,000 or 200. Man, I feel like even when you get rich, you're like, man, $1,000, like, sheesh. That's like going to, stop by McDonald's, get yourself a Big Mac real quick. Like, damn, I just got robbed. Some Big Mac's not even $5 anymore. Would you believe that, Tyler? I just went to the Oh man, talk about my personal life right there. I'm just a little hungry, man. I got home. I was doing some ring shopping today, dude. It was crazy. It was crazy. Sorry. Ugh. But what you realize is that my emotions became different because I wasn't looking for all the hot trades. I wasn't like just putting, over leveraging on an account. And sometimes what we even do, we like to be like children. I don't want you guys to trade. I don't want you to trade like children. I don't want you to be a child. I want you to be an emotional, stable person. Because when I started making those emotional stable trades, I was like, man, there's a couple trades that I don't win every trade in that 2 weeks, get my account back, or even be able to make more from it. I did not get that back like easy. That was a dog fight and a half. But I did it because I was disciplined in what I had. I was motivated, but I was very disciplined to see it out. You see, there's sometimes, even most times, what I find is that we even have these trades where we ride them out as losers. We're willing to see it out to the end, man. I'm willing to, like, people are like, man, I might be 800 pips deep, but don't worry, it's going to come back and I'm going to withdraw the minute I hit 300 pips. Like, what are you doing? I believe you need to let your winners ride, and then, you need to cut your losers short. I'm not saying that there's not a potential for them to come back, but just speaking more on to that. Sorry, excuse me. I thought I had to sneeze there for a second. But making the ultimate difference in your guys' in whatever you're trading and when your trading plan is, or even your personal development plan, but yet that's a better question of asking yourself is, do I have a trading plan in mind? Okay, because once you have that down, that's only 10% of the work. I want you guys to now ask this bigger question of, do I have a personal development plan in mind? You see, and this was something hard that I had to learn. And I want to leave you guys some of the biggest keys that it takes. Number one, consistency is going to be keys to your better future. And even if you want to add a little punch to it, you can you can underline the word and your. So when you read it, it says consistency is the key to your better future. If you want to be able to add a little more punch to it. But that's going to be one side of it. The other side, obviously, I've been talking about a lot of the mindset. And because I touch so heavily on it, and I hope you guys know, I get so heavily heated about it because your biggest fault in your trading is you. It's you. However, on the other side of the coin reads, your biggest success of your trading is also you. And I don't even want you guys to feel that if the minute where you start feeling like anything you're doing, whether if it's trading or even like, and I'm going to give all these different analogies, of course, right? Because I believe even recently, something I had to discover was a thing called passion. Passion, man. What are you excited about? I know, like, I had to sit through some traffic to even get here to do this. It was an hour long, but you know what? I was more passionate than where I was leaving. Where I was leaving, it was a cool place. It was a hangout, right? Awesome. But I wasn't as excited. Man, when I said to the traffic, I was like, oh, it's traffic. But I was like, oh, it's traffic though. I'm like, yo, I'm going, if you knew where I was going, you would be excited too. I'm like, man, I have my jams up because I'm excited to add value. Let me ask you, are you excited to trade? Are you excited for the things that you want? If you're not excited, then you need to take a break for the day. It's stop. I won't even, personally, from my personal experience, I never traded if I never felt excited. You know why? Because I believe, here's my propaganda for 2022. Ready? Make trading fun again.
Yo, bro.
Exactly. Make trading fun again. Have fun with it, right? Whatever your technical analysis is, whatever, sorry, I keep feeling like I'm gonna sneeze, man. It is just out. We like got big old pollen grass coming through here. I'm trying not to get distracted. But make things fun. Make things fun with being with your partner. Make things fun, pursuing your dream, pursuing your passion. Take your and the minute you start looking at the failures as your losses, realize that what would you expect? You expect this to just be a cakewalk, like you're just going to dance, waltz through it, that you're just going to instantly arrive. John Maxwell says that success does not happen on accident. It happens on purpose. I am purposefully intentional every day about making sure that my business is growing the way it needs to, my finances are being handled the way they need to, and that the love of my life is being taken care of as he needs to. I was going to say handled, but then you realize don't want to pop up on here later like, you gotta handle me. I'm like, said handle with care on the package, right? The minute you got out there, it said handle with care, you take it in there.
I'll mute that part on the live.
Yeah, we're gonna edit that one. Let's edit that one out, right? Let's edit that one. But no, but if that one makes sense, right? Sorry, with getting back to it, that with number one is going to be consistent. Number two is being disciplined. And I looked up what the word really discipline means. Actually, I kind of even built my own term around it, and feel free to write this down and steal it. And just so you guys know, I hope you will take back that if whoever's been taking notes on this, that writing calligraphy is going to be your second highest form of thinking. Your first ability to think is just the ability just to think, period. But when you're writing, you're thinking. When you're reading a book, you're not reading a book. You're reading what the author was thinking. It's not just going to happen by accident, but discipline is loyalty to whatever you decide to. You got to create that loyalty to whatever you want. Are you going to be loyal to are you going to be loyal to your trading plan? Are you going to be loyal to, obviously, I hope if you're in a relationship, you're loyal to the person in your life. Are you loyal to hopefully nowadays, are you loyal to the things, to your dreams, goals, and desires? I'm so loyal to my dream, goals, and desires, man. Literally, I want to wake up and I want to make $1 million. I said, I want to make $1 million a day. Is it going to happen? Absolutely. Because I'm loyal to it. I believe it's going to happen. It doesn't mean I'm shallow or anything, but literally every day, I got to hold it. I got to feel it. I got to touch inside my hand on my bad days, on my good days. And I don't want you guys to think I'm perfect or anything, because there's more faults that have to happen that you got to grow from than more successes that you will grow from. You're going to have more faults that you're going to learn from than the successes. You're going to be like, oh man, if you were to make a trade, or if you were to have some sort of cash come in that day, you had $10,000. Oh, you would forget every single thing. You would be like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have put a down payment on a Bentley. You're like, but that sucks. But the minute you can't afford that Bentley payment, then you're going to be learning real quickly on how to figure out how to make it happen. Number three, setting the expectations for the things you want to happen. When it comes to being emotionally stable, I talk about it because emotions are the same thing as energy. What the energy you give out is the same thing as you're going to reciprocate back. You're going to reciprocate the energy you get back. That's why I said, make trading fun. Don't have animosity towards trading. Don't have anxiety towards trading. I want you to come into trading and have fun, because the minute you got to feel like, gotta make my 3% today. I hope to make even just one. You don't trade. I'm telling you, don't do anything that day. Better yet, get a book, call a Bible, get around somebody, because the expectation you're going to be putting behind what you're going to be getting that day is going to fall apart. You see, it's like, even in the morning, I set my expectations already so early. Like, man, Tyler, I'm gonna tell you what, I open my Bible in the morning. I'll tell you what, it's been a struggle, man, but literally as of recently, I take my phone, but I'm actually letting this go on iGoLive. I literally have my Bible opened up consistently for the past 34 days. I had it open. And that's just a goal for me, because I was like, hey, we all have this talk and being disciplined. And I always hear people say, oh, I got these big goals, dreams, I'm gonna make them happen. I'm like, okay, how consistent are you gonna be towards it? I've seen people outwork me hard for a week than they can for a month. The reason why I'm here is because I was consistent and disciplined, but even most importantly, I had grind to get me to where I wanted to be, because I refused to stay where I was at. So number 3 is setting the expectation of what you want. And really, oh, excuse me. Sorry, this last one, I actually wrote it up exclusively for this. And this is gonna be my 4th one, this is gonna be my last one, because I see we're running short on time, is be able to walk out on faith. See, now when I'm talking about cutting your losers short and letting your winners rise, I'm not saying have faith that you're negative 1,000 pips and you're gonna come back. You're done. You cooked there. I'm talking about having faith that everything I'm doing, I did everything right. That I am truly in the right time, that, okay, maybe this didn't go the right way, but I am gonna be faithful to the end. Hope is the beginning of what you want to see. Faith is seeing it in the end. Whatever, remember, every image you can hold in your mind right here, you can hold in your hand. That's a biblical term. That's even a practical term. Sorry, I always forget that. But I want you guys to know right now, one more thing before we close out, is right here. Okay. I made a reel about this earlier. I just haven't posted it up. You are the sergeant. You are the captain. You are the commander, the general, the master of your mind. If you can master this, you can have anything you want in this world. I'm telling you, you can have the bees knees, the ducks nuts kind of trading strategy. But until you master this, you're never going to receive it. Why? Because your mind, because like I said, if I'm going to build a house, I'd rather build my house on concrete than to be able to build it on sand. Because I know concrete will withstand a storm. Concrete will withstand rain. Concrete will withstand anything that comes its way. And I need to have that solid foundation for it. And one last thing with that, I know that was going to be the last thing, but this is going to be the absolute last thing. For the things you want externally, you got to go internally. And I'm not saying, hey, just like say, oh, I hope things are going to go my way. I really hope things are going to go my way. I want you to reach internally and build yourself first. Silly question. If we were in war, would you want to wear body armor or not? Think about that. If I'm going to get shot, I'd rather get shot and be wearing armor and be like, whew, thank God. Okay, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing another day. Most of us, we go out into war of our lives and we get shot and we are not ready for it. And then what does it do? We're crippled. We're depressed. We get angry. And now we are now operating from such a negative place that we can't see any hope and prosperity from it. And I want to just invite you all right now to just say that I'm going to a higher place. I want you to just say it right in with some texture, with some tone, with some behind the neighbors hearing it, that I will go to a higher place. I will be living the best of my life for the rest of my life. My family is great. My marriage is great. And I'm blessed. I invite you to say that out loud with me. Tyler, I appreciate your time. Salute.
I appreciate you, bro. Sheesh. Wow. Oh my goodness, bro. Yo, what is up? What is up? Dog, you said something in the beginning that I was like, yo, oh my goodness. I'd write, there was a couple things I wrote down, but the one thing you wrote down, bro, you said, without challenge, there's no change. And I was like, oh my goodness. I wrote that down. I'm like, that's going to be on an IG post later. But bro, you're so right. I actually heard this. I believe it was from Ed Milet recently, but he says, don't discount your experiences. The challenges you face in your life are part of these experiences that are going to be able to qualify you to help other people. And he says it's not perfect people who help imperfect people. It's imperfect people who help imperfect people. The people who are perfect, if they had everything perfect, they wouldn't have much to help. They wouldn't know much. It's the struggles, the challenges, the adversities, everything that happens along the way that allows you to help these people in the end. So, bro, you said without challenge, there's no change. I'm like, sheesh. Oh my goodness. And another thing you said too, and you said discipline is loyalty, bro. Oh my gosh, especially to yourself. And that's a big thing. People don't understand. I have these 4 main rules for trading. I'm not going to go into them really into depth, but the first one is discipline, and it's discipline for a reason. Because what you do on a consistent basis, you get results. If you go to the gym for a year straight, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, I could take a wild guess. We could all take a wild guess on this one. But I'm sure they're all going to be pretty similar. It happens with everything. It starts with the walk around the block, the apple a day, these small disciplines. Every small discipline builds up to the next one. And that's so important. In the perspective thing too, perspective as well. One thing I want to touch on, because it's related to trading as well, but also in everyday life, because I've been hearing the word recession a lot. Recession. I don't even know why I said it that many times. I don't want to repeat it that much in my life. But if you Google it, there's a definition of recession, right? And if you look it up, there's the financial term of recession. But there's also the one that says when an object moves away from the observer. So let's use Bitcoin for this example. And let's say you're the observer. If you observed the object being Bitcoin and you observed it as 60K and you've watched it go down, what's your perspective on that? It's a recession, right? But if you've been watching it from 6 to 10K, it's not a recession, it's a retracement. Everybody's got retracements. We all have these speed bumps in life. It's a retracement, it's a setback, it's an adversity. It's something that happens. And you just got to overcome them, guys. Perspective of these recessions. Recession happens in every single day of life. It doesn't just have to be that financial term of, everything's going down and everybody thinks that it's going down. No, just when the object moves away from where your perspective is. So my perspective is it's a drawback, a retracement. Bitcoin's in a retracement because of where I've been watching it from. But if you watch it from 60K, you have a different point of view, and that's okay. Neither one of us is wrong. We both have opinions. Rule number one: have fun, right? And I think Les Brown says this. He says, he says sugar is neither good or bad for your health, but eating it and not eating it has consequences. And somebody's out there probably like, yo, bro, it's definitely bad for you to eat a lot of it. But if you eat one little grain of sugar a day, that might not affect you at all. So you gotta be careful where you draw these lines and these limits. The other day, Deontay, bro, oh my God, I wanted to slap myself in the face. This was so funny, bro. You said, yo, bro, send me you said send me 3 words that come to mind when you think of me. And I said, okay, bro. And I actually sent him a voice message. I said, yo, bro, because you limited me to 3, I'm only going to send you 3. So I sent him those 3 and he said, no, bro, I didn't limit you. He said, I told you just send 3. I didn't say you can only send 3. I don't want, you said send 3. You didn't say like it has to only be 3. You didn't limit me. I limited myself because you gave me the number because of what you said to do, not because of what I wanted to do. I wanted to go send you 70 different things, bro. I wanted to go in detail but because of what I thought the limit was, I stopped myself from doing that. So you got to be careful where you draw these lines, where you put these limits, where you have these perspectives. And one big thing is being open-minded. I know we're about to cut out here in just a minute. I'm actually 6 minutes late for a call, but I want to keep going. And I'm sorry, Instagram Live, I want to keep going too. I literally don't want to stop, but I have to hop on this call. So this recording will be uploaded to my YouTube. Deontay, I'll get it to you as soon as possible so you have it as well. And I appreciate each and every single one of you hopping on. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this, and I hope to see you next time. Deontay, I'll message you when I'm done with these calls, bro. I freaking appreciate you, man. Thank you for dropping that, bro.
Absolutely, homie. Check you soon, man.
Yep. Peace, bro.